Hi there. Are you enjoying your stay at Torchi's place?
We've put together this sightseeing guide to help you make the most of your time in Kamakura.
Today, let's talk about Ichijo Ekan Sanso.
And welcome. We're doing a bit of a deep dive today, and this is really designed for you, especially if you're here exploring Kamakura right now. Maybe you're even staying at Toshi's place. People often ask us, about experiences that are a little different, maybe off the main tourist path. So today, we wanted to talk about a place that's truly special, Ichijo Ekan Sanso. Think of it as uncovering a hidden gem, a quieter side of Kamakura offering something really unique. We've got some notes here, research we've done to guide us, and the idea is to give you the key info so you can figure out if this is something you want to add to your list while you're here.
Yeah, and what makes Ichijo Ekan Sanso so, well, fascinating, I think, is that it's not just another old building. It's actually history that's been moved. And it gives you this really unique peek into a very specific, very refined culture from Japan's past. It's less about, big battles or politics and more about aesthetics, art, a whole way of thinking, really. Our sources really emphasize that this place lets you experience that world in a way that's honestly pretty rare for these kinds of sites. It's like stepping into a particular feeling, a moment captured in time.
Okay, let's unpack that a bit then before we get to the feeling. What is Ichijo Ekan Sanso fundamentally? Like, what are we looking at?
Yeah. Right. Well, at its core, it's a type of building called a Sukiya-style villa. Now, Sukiya, you might connect that with the tea ceremony. And that's right, it's architecture that values subtle beauty, natural materials, being in harmony with its surroundings. Understated elegance, you could say. The sources tell us this villa was originally put up way back, mid-17th century, so right in the Edo period. And the person behind it was Prince Ichijo Ekan, an important guy, part of the imperial family. But here's the twist, and something you'll definitely hear about if you visit. It wasn't built in Kamakura originally. It was in Kyoto. It was moved here piece by piece, very carefully in 1959. So it's like a little piece of Kyoto's courtly world transplanted into Kamakura, which historically, is more about the samurai, the warrior class.
Wow, moved. That's incredible. The whole building.
Meticulously.
Yeah. And the prince who built it, Ichijo Ekan, it sounds like he was more than just royalty. What was his story? Why is his personality so stamped on this place?
Oh, he was definitely not just your average prince, ninth son of Emperor Goyuzei, so yes, top-tier imperial family. But his interests were incredibly broad. The sources describe him as someone deeply involved in the arts, not just like a casual interest. He was apparently really skilled in waka poetry, that's classical Japanese verse. He knew the tea ceremony well, was knowledgeable about No and Kyogen theater, even interested in puppet shows. And the key thing the sources stress is that this wasn't just a list of hobbies. His deep sense of aesthetics, his maybe spiritual side, it was core to who he was. He designed this villa specifically to reflect that inner world. So when you visit, you're not just seeing architecture, you're kind of exploring the taste and mind of this really interesting historical figure.
That makes total sense. You can often feel the creator's spirit in a place, can't you? So if the villa reflects his inner world, how does that actually, look? What does the building itself show us?
Well, one detail that really stands out, and it's mentioned quite a bit, is the roof. It's actually pretty unique. It's built in three layers. On the outside, you see this prominent thatched roof. Gives it a very rustic, almost humble look. But underneath that, there's a layer of wooden shingles. It's a technique called kokerabuki. Very detailed, very durable. And then from the inside, looking up, you see this beautiful decorative board ceiling. So this layering, it creates this deliberate contrast. Simple outside, but sophisticated craftsmanship inside. It's apparently a really high-level example of Edo period building skills. And practical to good installation lasts a long time. And this whole idea, this play between rustic and refined, simple and complex, you see that sort of thing echoed elsewhere in the villa. In the details, the fittings, the pillars, it's subtle.
And I gather the actual experience of visiting, going inside, is quite different compared to other old imperial villas. That's a big part of its appeal, right?
Absolutely. And this is probably the key reason the sources highlight Ichijo Ekan Sanso. Think about famous places like Katsura Villa or Shugakunen Villa in Kyoto. Usually you view them from the outside, right? On a guided tour, sometimes quite quickly. But here at Ichijo Ekan Sanso, you actually get to go inside the villa. You step onto the tatami. Now, you are with a guide who explains things, but you have more freedom to, linger a bit, look closely, really feel the space. Within the tour structure, of course. And it's this access, this ability to be in the space that makes the experience so immersive, so different. The guided visit, from what we understand, is really designed to help you connect. You learn about the prince, his life, the ideas behind Suki architecture. You even look at things like the Sujitoi. These are paintings on wooden sliding doors, and understand the stories they tell. It's not just facts and dates. It's trying to give you a sense of the spirit, the philosophy behind it all, the depth of traditional Japanese culture, really. And inside, it's described as incredibly calm, contemplative. The sources talk about how the design plays with light and shadow, creates this soft, nuanced atmosphere. It apparently reminds people of Tanazaki's famous essay In Praise of Shadows. That whole aesthetic, celebrating subtlety. Oh, and they even teach you a bit of traditional etiquette, like not stepping on the edges of the tatami mats.
Yeah.
It just adds to that feeling of stepping into a different, preserved world.
Wow, that sounds genuinely profound, like you're connecting on a much deeper level than just looking. Okay, moving outside then, the garden. Clearly another major element mentioned everywhere. What's the garden like?
The garden is absolutely integral. It's designed to be completely harmonious with the villa. You'll find things like a beautiful moss garden, a peaceful bamboo grove, some really elegant red pines placed just so. A big part of it is in the Karasansui style, dry landscape garden. That means it uses things like rocks, sand, maybe moss to suggest landscapes, mountains, water, but without using actual water. You might see patterns raked in sand that look like waves. It's very connected to Zen Buddhism, designed for contemplation, quiet reflection. And like many Japanese gardens, it's designed to be beautiful in every season. The sources say it's particularly lovely in early summer with hydrangeas blooming or just the fresh green of spring. And then, of course, late autumn with all the vibrant colors. Visiting at different times gives you a totally different feel. And it's quiet, but you might notice, the sound of birds, maybe a subtle water feature somewhere, even if it's mainly a dry garden. It all enhances that sense of peace, being part of nature.
And there are some smaller, charming details too, little artistic touches in the garden.
Yes, exactly. Keep an eye out for something called hanachozu. These are water basins, often made of stone, and they have these beautiful seasonal flower arrangements floating in them. They're described as really picturesque, very photogenic, and a lovely way to appreciate that Japanese sense of seasonal beauty. There's also something called mizu yuranai, water fortune telling. It's a bit playful, adds a little touch of traditional fun while you're exploring. These little things, they just reinforce the idea that beauty and care are woven into every part of the experience.
Okay, this place sounds incredible. Definitely for someone looking for that deeper cultural dive in Kamakura. So let's get practical. For anyone listening, maybe staying nearby at Toshi's place thinking, I want to go, how do you get there? What do you need to know to plan?
Right, practicalities. Getting there is pretty easy by public transport, and that's what's recommended. The sources say there isn't parking right there. From the east exit of JR Kamakura Station, you hop on a Kiki bus. Look for one going towards Kamakura Ryan. Get off at the Jomyoji stop, Jomyoji, and it's just a short walk from the bus stop. Pretty straightforward. Okay, now this is really important for planning. Those interior tours, the special part, they are reservation only, and they only happen on specific dates, so you absolutely have to check the official website first. See when they're running, check availability, and book your spot ahead of time. Please don't just turn up hoping to get in, especially for the inside tour. You'll likely be disappointed. Also, just double check opening hours and any potential closing days. These can sometimes change. Always best to verify on the website before you head out. There's a general fee for the grounds, but the guided tour inside the villa is a separate additional fee. Just be aware of that. A couple other points from the sources. Children under school age generally aren't allowed inside the villa building itself, and the building isn't fully barrier-free. So if accessibility is a concern for you, definitely check the details on their website.
Good tips. Book ahead, check the website. Got it. And I heard there's something relatively new there, too, for relaxing after the tour.
Yes, that's right. A fairly recent addition opened in April 2025, I believe. It's a tea house called Sario Kyoto Niyomon Kamakura Bete. And the name kind of gives away, it brings a taste of Kyoto right there. They serve premium Japanese sweets and tea. Apparently, they even have some menu items you can only get at this Kamakura location. It sounds like a really nice, calming space to just sit, reflect, enjoy something delicious after you've explored the villa and garden. Important note, though, you do need to have bought an admission ticket for the villa itself to enter the tea house.
That sounds like the perfect way to round off the visit. Sit with the tea and just absorb it all. Are there other places nearby you'd recommend checking out? Maybe make a half day or day of it in that area?
Oh, definitely. The location is great for combining with other spots. The sources often suggest pairing it with Hokukuji Temple. It's a very close and famous for its incredible bamboo grove. A totally different vibe, but equally peaceful and beautiful. Jomyoji Temple is also right nearby. That's one of Kamakura's important Zen temples. Visiting these together, maybe Ichijo Ekan Sanso first, then Hokokuji, maybe Jomyoji, it lets you really immerse yourself. You get the refined courtly culture from Ichijo Ekan Sanso, the natural beauty of the bamboo, and the Zen traditions of Kamakura all kind of clustered together. It's a great way to experience different layers of Japanese culture in one go. And, thinking about the bigger picture, that whole story of moving the villa, it really speaks volumes. It was built in Kyoto, right? The center of the imperial court, that aristocratic, refined culture. Then it gets moved piece by painstaking piece and rebuilt here in Kamakura, a city known for its warrior history, the samurai, a different kind of power structure. The sources mention how incredibly precise they were, even recreating the garden stone placements exactly. So that move in 1959, it wasn't just logistics. It was like moving an entire cultural idea and aesthetic from one world to another. It physically represents this meeting point, this fusion between Kyoto court culture and Kamakura warrior heritage, right there in that one spot.
So for you, listening to this, thinking about your trip, what does that mean? It means visiting Ishijo Ekan Sanso isn't just ticking another site off your list. It's really an invitation to experience this unique blend, a blend of history, culture, different ways of seeing beauty. It's a chance to step away from the usual hustle, maybe find a quieter moment, and connect with a part of Japan's path that feels both, I don't know, very old and somehow very present when you're there.
Which kind of leads to a final thought, maybe something to ponder. When you see the sheer effort, the meticulous care taken to move and recreate a place like this so faithfully, what does that dedication tell us about the value we, or at least some people, place on preserving not just buildings, but the intangible things they represent? The aesthetics, the philosophies, the spiritual feelings embedded in the design. What is it about that kind of cultural expression that makes it worth such incredible effort to carry it forward across time and even across place?
What did you think?
We hope you'll make even more wonderful memories at Toshi's place.